off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega Left, we're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready for lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets inbound.
Got him on radar, Skull. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates a good eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking. This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega Left, we're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready for lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets inbound.
Got him on radar, Skull. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates a good eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking. This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega Left, we're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready for lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets inbound.
Got him on radar, Skull. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're...
Attention to the paper doll. Make sure you guys are shooting the correct legs. Be careful of the collisions. Let's play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And when anybody's running short, is going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come out.
I have you in the Griff.
Sounds good. Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us, right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill the f*** out, man, it's fine, it's just a fire starter.
Komm, Leute, redet miteinander.
15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly, that's
Don't
fine.
die.
Guys,
15
we're
seconds,
winning
don't
kills,
die.
guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Jar, CT, yellow. Okay, go to Charlie, so we can go
There, to your left, is there? Sorry, shit.
So, jetzt guys, hinter die Indie-Pocken.
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on OP barrel. Wire our strikes up.
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side. When you pass over,
Overheating is bad.
both legs on the Griffin. Get the Griffin. Woo! Oh yeah. Sorry about that. That was such a
That's right. I'm gonna spawn Lance, you guys in Charlie, Lance, you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
What's in die Breite? Ziehen Sie dann in die Breite?
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurz Aufschaltung Delta 4, 3 Stück, 2 Mediums einleiten, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox.
Laufen unter ECM, hab 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left, Charlie Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out.
Check yourselves. Make sure you've got, UAV cool shot.
Hey, here they come. They're pushing hard, guys.
Deco. Tez on.
Go.
Oh, got a contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
Well, you cross it then. Get in their face.
They got a highlighter, they just pushed up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta.
Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this.
Full pressure, guys, full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3. Get the f***ing arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot.
Cough. I got him.
Go, B3, go.
Echo, go.
Get over on your medium, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow.
God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill. I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family.
Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking. This is McQuarrie. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting. Roger, Control. Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down the lift. forward 1. You're running out of time. Party camera is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU Dan as soon as possible. If the dropstick gets powered up, it'll bring its main gun. Meters altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking. This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is forward 1. You're running out of time. Party camera is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU Dan as soon as possible. If the dropstick gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left, we're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready to live, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets inbound.
Got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking. This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is forward 1. You're running out of time. Party camera is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU Dan as soon as possible. If the dropstick gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left, we're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready to live, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets inbound.
Got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking. This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift.
salvage operation. This is forward one. You're running out of time. Target gamma is nearly powered up. Take out the APU Dan as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega Lab, we're getting cargo secure. As soon as we're able to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets in zone.
We've got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're
Pay attention to the paper doll. Make sure you guys are shooting the correct legs. Be careful of the collisions. I don't want to hear complaints about it. Work around it. Let's play this game.
I need another.
Good evening, Mech Warriors, and welcome to MRBC Week 4. What? Yes, Week 4. It's a makeup match between the 228 Blackwatch and Dropship 5. This match was supposed to originally happen during Week 4, but because of the Star League finals and everything else, everything got pushed back quite a bit. Oh, my music seems a little loud here. Anyways, kids, I am RJ Bass, RJ Bass, RJ Trout. I don't care, whatever you want to call me. I'm a member of the 228 IBR Swamp Foxes, and with me tonight is Grim57, a member of the 228 IBR Swamp Foxes / Blackwatch. He's a
Oh, the dual tags are special. The dual tags are special.
Yeah, but yeah, he's done a couple casts with me before for MRBC back during season 7. Of course, Mikado can't cast with me tonight because he's in the 228 Blackwatch, who is playing tonight. But Grim, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here to fill in for Mikado, and to see the Blackwatch play today would be good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be nice to stream with you again. Yeah, it's been a while, man.
Yeah, it's been a long while. Of course, Grim is very well known in the 228. He's a long-standing member of the Blackwatch. You're with him for Worlds last year, right?
Yeah, I played with him all throughout summer and at Worlds, and then I took my break after that because that was sort of a brutal summer.
Yeah, it was. I lost a wife over that summer because of that damn thing. But just playing. But yeah, he's a long-standing member. He's been with them for a long time. An excellent player. He came into the Swamp Foxes towards the tail end of season 9 for us. In my opinion, was a big difference maker. And how we were playing, because he brought that Blackwatch know-how with them and really helped us with some of the things that we needed. Probably going to be going back to Blackwatch for Worlds 2017, but there's still some things up in the air here. But regardless, it's great to have him here with us tonight. And
yeah, I wanna thank you, RJ, and thank the Swamp Foxes for giving me the opportunity. I wanted to come back and start playing again, especially to get my comp feet wet again with you guys was good. And I this week give me a good opportunity to get ready for World 2017 with Blackwatch. And it's it's not final until Panic posts his roster. Maybe I'll stay at Green Square, but we'll see.
Well, with the Blackwatch still having, I want to say this is going to be. Let me look here at the. In fact, we'll pull up the division here. Yeah, Division A. Yeah, this is going to be the Blackwatch's 8th match. So I'm thinking right now, Grim, that, and basically from the conversations I've had with Panic, Panic and the team are still really highly focused on MRBC right now. Because, those are the matches that have to be played right now. I don't think the cutoff for the World's rosters has to happen for another month yet. So, understandable. That's where his focus is lying right now, instead of solidifying that roster for Worlds. But
COD players want to be competitive, and so they want to finish the season strong, and
right.
So they don't want to do a disservice to anybody. But yeah, the new patch, the focus on the comp queue, and to get ready for that the new run on 2017 has got people more focused on that. But hey, I'm looking forward to still some good matches for the end of the season.
Oh yeah, definitely, and we have some good matches coming up. Grim's actually gonna be back with me on Thursday when we cast the Division B final between Ice and Grim and BSK, so that should be a good one. But one thing I do have to get out of the way right now because Grim and I are both members of the 228, and Grim does work so closely with the Black Watch, there's a little bit of a conflict of interest here because the Black Watch is one of the teams playing tonight. So Grim and I are not on to keep things fair and open, and to ensure that you guys and the teams, that we are not doing any cheating of any kind and to not bring any discredit upon the MRBC name. Neither Grim or I are on the 228 TeamSpeak, because we just don't want any potential problems there. We're both on a completely different TeamSpeak, and anybody is free to check that out if they want. If you have the 228 TS address, you can go there and take a look just to double check. But I just want to make sure everything is in the open and honest there, because there is a little bit of a conflict of interest here, at least in my opinion. So,
Full transparency.
yes, full transparency. So, all that being said, new patch today, Grim. And this is this is going to be, as far as I know, this is going to be one of the first MRBC matches played with the new patch. What do you
Not
think?
a lot of time on the turnaround. To
Yeah.
get things, I mean,
What do you think's going to
it's quick.
happen here?
The biggest, nerf that people are really talking about was clan small pulse lasers losing like 2 points of damage going from 6 points of damage to 4. That's very significant, and that probably gonna change a lot of the decks that have been being used, especially for the early drops, with a lot of the pinpoint damage acting as both like burst and DPS on those clan mechs, really kills mechs really quickly. So we're gonna see some changes. Maybe they're still being used. Maybe these teams are still going to fill out that old meta, but there's definitely a lot of changes.
So if I think you just said it there, I was looking for players to get invited to the lobby here. If clan with the small pulse laser nerf happening, do you think we'll see so many of the small pulse laser Arctic cheetahs and gargoyles? Do you think those will still be a factor, or are they searching for something else here? What in your opinion, what do you think will be like the Arctic cheetah? If they're not going to run the small pulse laser Arctic cheetah and drop one, what do you think these guys will do to replace that?
The inner sphere medium laser looks really good and looks like it got just stronger by the nature of what happened in the patch. You might see some return to the inner sphere light mechs. You might see just a swap of dropping the small pulse lasers on the clan side for ER smalls, which are still relatively a good damage per weight and per heat. And you actually gain distance, you gain a little bit of range on them. So you just might see that kind of swap, like rather than a 12 small pulse Nova, you might take a 12 ER small Nova. We'll see. I mean, these teams had such a brief time to think about it, but people have been theory crafting for half a day or so. So we'll see what they come up with.
Yeah, I mean, I was on TS earlier today when the patch first went live. On a normal Tuesday at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, there's the North American teams in the 228 TS are pretty empty. There's a few of us, maybe Queenblade, myself, and a couple other randoms here and there. The Euros are usually pretty busy, etc. But North American side's pretty dead. But today, I don't know if you were there for a little bit in the 318 channel. It was busy. A lot of people.
Some 1v1s going on. Some science.
Oh yeah, it was all science. Lots of science happening, and I heard them. At least I heard the guys in the Swamp Foxes talking about a couple different mechs they were trying out. Poor Decisions and we were visiting the Thunderbolt 5SS with the medium pulse lasers again to see how that did, and it was a heck of a lot of fun in 1v1s, but I'm still not quite sold on it in standard play right now. But I heard them working on a couple other things. They were also seriously sciencing the Nightjar, which because it got some mobility nerfs to it. Have you had a chance to try it at all? What's your take on that?
What I've heard from some really good Niger pilots, including the top NA pilot, I won't say his name, but he knows who he is that it's not really that bad. The mech still does what it needs to do, which is get in the air and put a really nice pinpoint alpha strike at range on something, and it doesn't really need to be lightning quick. It's already kind of a slow mech. It doesn't need to be that great on a dorsal twist because you're not really looking to trade. You're really looking just to pop star and get a free trade on someone. So, yeah, I mean that the 4SP got sort of like an armor structure. I think it was the structure nerf on it, so it's losing some of its survivability. That's been a fixture in the past in these drops. As sort of that like tanky medium mech to go to. So there's a lot of changes. We'll see what these two teams. These are two excellent teams, and we'll see what they've come up with. In the time being.
Yep. Well, it's definitely gonna be very interesting. Tell you what, I'm gonna try to invite these guys into the lobby here. Let's see who's running the 228 lobby. Looking for a show. Looks like Chrisman. So we'll get him invited, and then after we get him invited, we'll get I think it's Raging Banana for Dropship 5. And I don't see him on my friends list. Oh, yep, there he is. Yeah, so once we get 228 in, we'll get Dropship 5 in. So looking at I've had the division standings up on stream for a minute now. Osiris is currently leading the division with 11,375 reputation points, 28 drops won, 17 drops lost, 283 mechs destroyed after 9 matches played. Dropship 5 is currently sitting at position number 2 with 11,325 rep points, 31 drops won, 4 lost, 259 mechs destroyed, and 7 matches played. So Dropship 5, like the 228 IVR, only 7 matches played before tonight. Both teams still have a ways to go here. Now, Grim, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Blackwatch and Dropship 5 face off for the first time just last week and lose their first match of the season?
If they played the later week first, right? So they're making up a match today. Yeah, that's. But both Blackwatch and Dropship 5 they finished matches, so I think Osiris is in that one spot because I think they've been all their matches have been reported. So these are critical, right, to determine what's going to end up happening.
I know the Blackwatch had a rough time last week against SJR. That was, in fact, I talked to Panic briefly after they got done, and he said it was a really bad night for them, which is not very common for Blackwatch. I every team I guess has a bad night here and there. The past couple matches for Blackwatch have not been the best form. What do you think that they need to do to get the momentum shifted back in their favor?
I think you just go back to their fundamentals of just clear comms, good clean comms, nice target calling, good team movement, nice focus fire. With the new patch, try to just it's really hard to prepare with the amount of time they've had with the mechs they did, but just to go back to the fundamentals will make them a really strong team, and I think they'll be fine. And D5 is there. I know them. I've just scrimmed with them, played in cube with them. They're a really, really good team. They're a really good bunch of group of players. So they've also I've could probably bet my life savings on it that they are also have theory crafted and thought about what they're going to bring, using this as sort of a measure of how this coming comp group queues going to end up playing out with the new patch changes. So just going back to that fundamental play, I think for both teams, despite this brand new patch. So I think that'll serve both teams well.
Yeah, looking at Dropship 5's recent history, I was right about that. It was the 8th of June. Dropship 5 had a very narrow victory over the Blackwatch, 3-2, and then the week before that they beat 42nd Scorn 5-0. They beat Sig 5-0 back on the 22nd of May. I mean, they've had a very good run. In fact, looking at the numbers here, they haven't lost a match yet. So they've lost some drops, but they haven't fully lost a match yet. So they're obviously doing very, very good. Been very consistent throughout the season. I've been speaking with Raging Banana a little bit on Discord. I've talked to a couple of these guys in the past. They seem like a very down-to-earth team to me. I mean, they're extremely friendly, willing to help out other teams. You said you recently were doing a few things with them.
In the past, I've played with them in Group U. I've also scrimmed against them. They're a great group of guys. Like I think I just voiced that. And if you have a really good group chemistry, there's no salts around. People have a really good positive attitude. Everyone's working towards that common goal of getting a victory. I think that helps a lot of times more than just how much of a hot shot, Twitch player you are versus how much do you fit into this team chemistry? Is everyone like firing on all cylinders and everyone on the same page so you could focus fire that target down? The comms are nice, orderly, everyone sort of where they need to be, and the match just plays out smoothly. And I think both Blackwatch and D5 have that strong chemistry. I know those D5 guys are really fun to play with. I know that they're jovial on comms. They're so that's always helpful for that team chemistry. And yeah, they're, like you said, they're down to earth guys who love playing this game, and it shows in this MRB season, right? I mean, they've been really putting it to teams.
Oh yeah, I mean, ever since Worlds last season, they seemed like the team that just came out of nowhere. And I mean, I remember looking at the standings when my team was struggling so hard that first part of the Worlds round robin last year. I was looking at this team, D5, and I was like, who the hell are these guys? I had never heard of them before, but they were doing so well. And you quickly start to learn when you see a team do well. Everybody starts doing their research, starts wanting to know, who is this team? And from there, they just have continued to just impress. It seems like in every competition they get in, they're definitely there's definitely a lot of really good chemistry within that team. Very impressive to see.
And with this MRBC, it's just all these teams are playing really well, and you have all these divisions, and it's going to be nice to see all them playing the comp queue and to see all that get hashed out. So it should be fun. I think a lot of people are excited for that.
All right, so the 228 Blackwatch has just joined the lobby. The invite has been sent to Raging Banana. Oh, he says he didn't get an invite. I'll invite him again. Raging Banana. There he is. All right, his invite is sent. There they are. All right, so let's let these teams get themselves organized, get them put in the lances. We don't like to show the lances prior to the drop. It's something that Bandit actually talked about. It's not that we're not allowed to, because we are on a 5-minute delay here, but it just kind of keeps a little bit more mystery, I guess, for the viewers going into it, is exactly how they're going to do things, what strats they could possibly be thinking about here. So that's one reason why I don't show that prior to the drop. Grim, while these guys are getting ready, do you want to take a look at the map strat?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So drop 1, Grim Plexus, domination mode. Both teams can earn the rep point bonus if they can kill at least 5 of the enemy mechs, which means both teams could walk out of here with a bonus regardless of who actually wins the drop. Domination mode, most people, I'm pretty sure, know how this is played. You get into the green circle. The team that's in the green circle and not being shot at has their timer starts counting down. The first team to get to 0 wins, or the first team that destroys all the enemy mechs wins. What did you see happen? I mean, aside from the basics, Grim, what do you see happening here?
Look for Team 1 to maybe come in and take control of like F7 and G7 overlooking the domination circle from the top of the hill where the city's at. And then
feel free to draw on it.
You tell me, like, well, I'm not like a Rembrandt or like a Michelangelo, like magician or some of the other guys, but
you think Mikado is? Mikado ends up drawing a penis half the time.
No, but these drops are really fast and furious. And then look for Team 2 to come in from like the E6, F6 hill and like have Overwatch, on their mechs and look to either hold the domination circle from there or make a move into F7 from either the two, the two little buildings right before the hill or all the way on the left side through F7. So. Yeah, these usually end up in a fur ball because of the weight's so light. So
yeah, I've heard Panic say it before. Drop 1 is always a crapshoot. You never know. I mean, it just seems like the team that just has that little bit better focus fire, maybe that one better Overwatch mech or what have you, just seems it seems to win, and it could be any team in any given match, any given drop. It's just a crapshoot drop is how I've heard. Well, I've heard Panic talk about it like that, and several other people. And having played through season 9 this year, I tend to agree with that.
Just looking for a small advantage where you can focus fire on one mag, and a lot of times these teams focus fire the legs and take legs down incredibly quickly. They try to get the mediums down and work their way down from the mediums. So.
Well, the teams are getting ready here. All right, so both teams say they are ready. Let's get drop 1 done. MRBC season 9, week 4, 228 Blackwatch versus Dropship 5. Drop 1, Grim Plexus, Domination with a brand new patch. Really curious to see what mechs these guys bring. This should be really interesting. All right, let's get the information pulled up here. Take my usual shot of the dropship.
Like my colleague likes to say, we got dropships.
Yep. We got dropships.
T28 has an urban mech.
228 has an urban mech. What? Okay, so yeah, that's one thing I like to do, Grim. Let's go over the teams here. 228 brought a Stormcrow Prime, a Firestarter S, Hunchback 2CA, two of those, a Wolfhound 2, a Cicada 2B. Cicada is not something I've seen a whole lot of in comp this year. A Panther 9R, and that urban mech. Let's take a look at what they brought in that urban mech. That's Azrin driving the urban mech with 4 medium pulse, 2 machine guns. So Grim, tell us what Dropship 5 brought.
Dropship 5 also brought that same urban mech. A Hunchback 2C, Wolfhound 2. It's like a Huntsman Prime, a Kit Fox, a Nova, a Jenner D, and another Nova. So they double up on Novas.
Yep, so I bet you those are small laser Novas now. All right, both teams cresting their hills. Dropship 5 coming down off a Hamburger Hill. Their lights making a run straight for the center. Some large pulse laser already shooting across the gully. Looks like teams are just trying to figure out where the enemy is before they make a move.
A D5 has some large pulse lasers on that HBK2C, and it's trying to trade from the arena as their Novas are closing in on the circle. So D5 is trying to take an early position inside the circle here.
Yeah, it looks like they have a 5-second lead. The arty strikes are coming down. Arty strikes and airstrikes. So we talked about that on Sunday. Early trades happening from covered positions. Although it looks like, who's that? Ironclad? Looks like he just got caught out a little bit there.
Blackwatch's Hunchbacks were basically firing down into D5 from the top of the city, and they seem to have had to move to the left, and they're rotating left as D5 is pressuring the hill.
Everyone wreck this
Lots of strikes coming down.
Taking a peek from Azrin inside his urban mech. Urban mech, of course, all the rage today with that new hero coming out.
Patty Buns Hunchback's down to 53%.
Yeah.
Christmas is really low in his Hunchback.
Yeah, his Chrisman is not looking good.
And Christmas is the first to die in that Hunchback.
Raging Banana is down to 50%, but look right now it's looking like D5 definitely has the damage numbers here. Panic's down to 45, Mikado's down to 42.
Blackwatch has continued to rotate into what I've heard other casters refer to as gas station now. They've sort of done the whole rotation around.
Yeah.
And D5 chased them off that hill.
Yeah, Panda Button has dropped. Brother Tyberg is taken down by Defuncticon. There's three down for each team.
Teams.
Tarako's down from Aztinus. I'm not sure how you say his name.
Turok Cicada was at the end of that rotation. Now Bite goes down as well in that Wolfhound.
Yep, Charlemagne got the kill on that one.
D5 might have this match here.
Azrin's still
Only
standing in that
Blackwatch.
urban mech, but yeah, it's just two left for 228 Blackwatch. This could be over pretty quick. Azrin goes down, Defunct gets Matt 3049. Still 4 left standing. Or 5 left standing. 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure. Defunct, the last mech alive, and they focus down pretty bad. He drops. Sarahman of many colors got that kill there. Well, for drop 1 is definitely going to dropship 5 here. It looks like to me like 228 got 4 kills. Is that correct? Yeah, 4 kills. Grim, why don't you go over some of the damage numbers there while I get the scores updated?
For D5, you had that Nova Prime doing 521 damage. That's a lot of damage. It ended up with a kill. Zeos, and then Saruman in his Urban Mech. I guess you really don't target an Urban Mech, and it's going to end up doing a lot of work. 491 damage, maybe a good strike. 2 kills for Charlemagne in his Kitbox. It's a lot of damage on that, and those are probably some strikes. Contribute to that. On the Blackwatch side, the Hunchbacks who had that Overwatch position seem to have put out some damage panic with 314. Queenblade did some work in his Panther, but as Blackwatch got rotated off that hill, I don't think they were able to be able to focus fire as cleanly as D5 was, who pressured that hill and got them off of that and forced that rotation really early in the match.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there.
Did you see what the Nova Primes had? I didn't even get a chance to pick down on them.
I did not look at them, honestly.
I am so bad at this. Sorry, chat.
Well,
The shame.
he's new. It's all right though. We'll get him used to it.
Yeah, those Nova Primes just went straight for the hill and really put pressure. And once those Hunchbacks had to rotate off that hill for Blackwatch, it became really difficult for Blackwatch to be able to focus down Max.
All right, so that was drop 1. We are heading to drop 2 now. Dropship 5 has the 1 drop lead, 350 rep points to an even 100 for Blackwatch, and that's going to take us to drop 2 on Frozen City. The game mode switches to Conquest. The mech order gets switched up a little bit too. In drop 1, it's 4 lights and 4 mediums in that domination mode, which is why we typically see that brawl happen. On drop 2, we go into a 2-4-2. 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies. So as we go through the drops, we get a little bit heavier and heavier. We start light and get heavier. Again, same bonuses in effect on drop 2. The team that if you get 5 kills, 5 enemy kills, you get a rep bonus to add to your total for the end of the drop. Let me see something here.
So this drop is taking place on Frozen City.
Say again.
It's Frozen City for drop 2.
Yes, Frozen City. In fact, we could switch the map over here if you would like to. If you would like to take a look at the map and go over some ideas, I think we saw what happened in drop 1. I don't think we really need to go over drop 1, do we? Unless you want to. It's totally up to you.
I think I tried to explain a little bit while it was happening. You know what? That push that went up the middle and sort of got Blackwatch off the hill, and they rotated and they were forced to rotate first. So I think they lost the ability to focus fire. I mean, we could go over the replay if you want, but I think we discussed it. The drop 1 is just so. The Blackwatch terminology we always use. This is a crapshoot, but
yeah. Well, let's take a look.
Drop 2's gonna be interesting, right? We get to add 2 heavies, so
yeah. Let's take a look at the map straight here. With those heavies coming in. I mean,
now RJ, did they fix the? I know there's a bug with the Clan ER large lasers, right? Like they're basically.
Yeah, it's a heat problem. I heard Bombadil talking about it earlier today on Phil's stream. There was a bug where Clan ER large lasers are registering 11 heat when it's only supposed to be 10. So there's a hot fix. I don't think is coming in until tomorrow that gets that fixed. There's a couple things. What are they talking about here? It's rated. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna read that.
Does it have lower? I thought it had lower heat, so it's got an indirect buff. I'm not sure though. I didn't know what the bug was, but I heard it was definitely something with the Clan ER large lasers.
Yeah,
and that's not a traditional weapon you see on any matches. Usually.
Yeah, the way Bombadil was talking about it, it's registering too much heat. It shouldn't be registering as much heat. It's registering 11 heat, supposed to be registering 10 heat. So that's the error there. That's one of the things that they're going to fix tomorrow in the hotfix. But as of right now, no, it is
Well,
not
with the
fixed
new
yet.
with the new patch, we had those changes to a lot of the clan laser vomit mechs now are not as strong as they were before. So we might see instead of some Nightjares and we might still see some Nightjares, or you might see that dragon with the inner sphere ERLR laser might be strong on Frozen City. You can set up some positions to overwatch your other mechs. So I know some teams have brought Timberwolves on Frozen City when the laser vomit was pretty strong. So that might change. You might see Grasshoppers, you know, teams going towards that inner sphere laser vomit.
Okay, would you want me to play Picasso with the map strat?
Sure. I mean, yeah.
Okay, I'm the team leader of the Swamp Foxes, but I don't do the strategizing here. But Team 2 being Dropship 5, Team 1 being the Black Watch. A lot of times, especially with these Division 8 teams, we typically see a long range play. Teams will set up a long. Oh, I'm using white. Not supposed to use white. I broke my own rule, Grim.
No, why, RJ?
But we see him step on the ridge in various spots, getting the long range shots with Gauze and PPC. However, new patch and these teams being who they are and as creative as they are, there's any number of things that they could do. Now, a lot of times we typically see Team 2 make a push up into the 7 line, while Team 1 will also do that same push, and so we end up having a nice big brawl sort of thing right in here.
There is potential for steady fighting, definitely in E7, F7. You know, the E6 ridge, where you're out of the city and you get to overlook Theta, is a good strong vantage point. That D5 corner, up side, some mechs might be set up Overwatch over there, but usually pretty isolated. In terms of like Fox 5 and Echo 5 looking over Theta for the Team 2 red team is might be nice. Usually red team might be able to do that push.
Grim, draw for me, man. Make the pretty pictures.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an abstract drawing guy.
All right. Well, Team 1 is locked, waiting on Dropship 5 to get everything set up there, and we'll get into this drop. All right. That's all right, sir. You don't have to draw anything. We'll get you used to it. We'll get you there.
No, but you did fine. I mean, like that's. I mean, you could drop other things, but
I don't know. I just don't know. I don't spend as much time watching Division A, obviously, because I was competing in Division B, and so I haven't really seen what some of these teams are doing this year. I mean, I haven't really watched what the Division A teams have been doing since Season 8, actually. So
and also, RJ, it's also really unpredictable. Like I couldn't have predicted that Blackwatch was going to rotate off of their, the up top area in the city to the left side. I thought they would, if anything, hold that position and rotate to the right. So you could drop all the map strats you want, but there's not guarantee that that's exactly what the teams are going to do, because it's like these matches can end up being pretty sporadic. But especially with this new patch, with new max, different strategies. But yeah, like you said, there's that potential for some close fighting in the city that usually takes place on Team 1 side, or you'll see some long range engagement across Theta. From vantage points on both sides.
Yeah, and both of these teams are like, I mean, if you look at how Blackwatch played and Dropship 5 played, a year ago at this time, it was all PPC, Gauze, ER large lasers, especially on maps like this. And that wasn't long after Frozen City, when the Frozen City first got redone. I mean, most people were playing the long range game across that gully in the middle, but people tend to get bored with doing the same thing over and over again. So you're right. Trying to predict what these guys might do is really hard. Dropships are coming in. Nice tight formation on them this time.
Blackwatch doubling up on the Hunchback GCAs again.
Are they PPCs or are they large pulse? 'Cause I'm seeing on Dropship 5 side, got Nova Prime, two Nova Primes. I want to take a look at what they got in those things. Medium lasers, a lot of medium lasers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 medium lasers in one of them.
Bad guy here.
Raging Banana. He's in the Huntsman Prime, Snap Style, and another Nova Prime, also small lasers. So we got one Nova with medium lasers, one with small lasers.
Next,
Looks like D5's going to be pushing into the city on Team 1 side with their medium mechs. They have an Ebijag supporting those medium mechs.
Yeah, they got a couple guys staying in the back. Looks like they're providing the overwatch. I'm only seeing, 6 of the 8 up here in the city. Lots of large pulse fire coming in from the 228. Kind of looking at a standoff near Theta between some of the lighter ones. Charlemagne and Tamarin of many colors. One last bite. Looks like he's getting ready to... One last bite, and Queenblade pushing them, dropping the airstrikes. Maybe trying to flush them out of that little ditch that they're in over there. The Nightjar is represented by Defuncticon on the 228 side, and Brother Tiber brought one for Dropship 5, so it looks like the Nightjar is still going to be a prominent mech in competitive play despite the nerfs it got today.
Looks like Blackwatch is getting control of Theta here. They have one of their hunchbacks, supporting their lights there. They might be moving off of that ridge. It looks like Brandon Moon's the only 228 member still left up in the Team 1 side of the map.
Brandon
D5
Moon
just
with
came in
the
and took that
Wolfhound
city.
too. Yep. D5 pushes up more into the city while Blackwatch is going over Theta. It looks like the Blackwatch is going to try to push out the Overwatch mechs.
Blackwatch's health looks relatively good. I'm not sure why they made that rotation or why it was called. Maybe they wanted to get some distance. I know, there's at least one mech on D5 side with 50%, one other mech with 60. It's just, one hunchback's pretty hurt, one 5-star's pretty hurt. So, it looked like that was kind of like a delayed movement on both teams. Like D5 came up, balled up, seemed like they were going to make something happen there in that lower city. Then 228 was able to just rotate out of there after some strikes. Now they basically switched positions from the start.
Yeah, it looks like D5 is starting to push across the bridge area there into Theta.
Now, 228's hunchbacks are taking some damage. Now, Defunct and those two hunchbacks seem to be caught up in the city now.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a full brawl straight into the 228 the way they're pushing here.
The D5's light mechs are trying to harass on Blackwatch's left side, but Prisman and Brandon Moon are there to make sure those lights don't harass the hunchbacks too much. But there still seem to be kiting them into the city here again. Snaps down. His Nova Prime is now up top.
Zaya is down to 50%. Matt 3049 down to 50%. Damage numbers actually looking about even. Both teams have some pretty hurting mechs. Azrin down to 30% already in his Huntsman A. And Queenblade gets the first kill.
By Queenblade. That was a really good strike.
Was that off of an airstrike?
Yeah, I just saw that live. I think it was a strike. Another death on D5's side, but Azrin goes down from his Huntsman.
Yeah, 2 down now for D5, 1 for the Blackwatch. Following Mikado's Soul here, we're going to get into his.
everyone in
his
this
mech.
It's a Stormcrow. I mean, we
Taking
really
the
don't see
first
those
mate.
normally.
Right torso is
2 large pulse and some mediums.
Right torso is destroyed.
His
Good
CT
job.
is crit.
Your CT got ready.
He's going to be dropping any second now.
With large pulsar
Destroy this shizzle.
Brandon Moon's doing a good job here on the left side harassing. Yep, he brings down Matt 3049. But Rage Bandit does get the kill on the Stormcrow.
Got 4 down now for Dropship 5, 2 for Blackwatch. Mikado did end up going down there.
Blackwatch is up in kills, but Max really hurt here.
I can't see. Are there no caps taken right now?
No caps, no caps.
Interesting.
Might be a bug. I mean, I thought for sure Blackwatch had at least picked up Theta. Maybe got decapped.
Well, the numbers aren't going up. Snap Style pushing down that Timberwolf. He's going to get focused pretty fast, I would think. Yeah, he's down to 30%. Snap Style goes down. We have 5 down now for Dropship 5. Defuncticon goes down, taken down by the Silken. The Silken down to 39%. Brother Tiber's still looking really healthy in that Nightjar, though, at 81%.
but 228's got this crossfire that's really nasty on D5's remaining mechs that poured off of that hill. They poured off onto Defunct's Niger, but One Last Bite and Bang Bun, who are still up in their hunchbacks, are able to stay behind them. Although One Last Bite did die by overheat, I think. And now we just need some caps.
You're not going to believe this. Guess what I did?
What'd you do?
This is probably my biggest screw up of the year, of the season. They got a radio cast.
Radio cast!
Yeah, radio cast! Oh, they're saying the very end. This is a 228 win, though. All 8 Dropship 5 mechs destroyed. Panic Button, Queen Blade, Chrisman, and Brandon Moon still standing for the 228 Blackwatch. So drop 2 will certainly go, is definitely going to the 228 Blackwatch. Man, I haven't had a radio cast all season.
It's been a while.
Man.
It's been a while.
Wake up.
In fact, I don't know that I've ever had one. That's usually a bandit move. Or
Crispin and that dragon, 745 damage is a lot of damage. Mikado Soul putting down 600 damage in his Stormcrow. D5, Nova Prime doing work, 600. You also have the Eben Jag also doing work on that cold map, 555 damage. That was an interesting match.
it was interesting. It seemed like it took a while to start really happening too. It wasn't until, I mean, a little bit of skirmishing at the very beginning, but it wasn't.
Yeah, the mech seemed to skirmish over Theta, and then D5 got into the right side of the city fairly quickly, moved up there, seemed to get some momentum gathered. There was some exchange of strikes. There was some trading. It appeared that Blackwatch got upper hand of the trading, decided to rotate out to the right, to the opposite side of the city. D5 probably could have made a push then and there, but they decided to kind of wait it out. Then they eventually did complete the rotation and rotated to Blackwatch's back end. But then by that time, Blackwatch had got enough distance. They had crossed, no man's land across the Theta, and were able to start kiting back into the city. There was a brief fight on the left side, which the light mechs of D5 were trying to pressure those hunchbacks. And then once Blackwatch completed the rotation off the hill, D5 got caught up in a crossfire with the remaining mechs as they came off the hill targeting that Niger. Man, radiocast feels bad, man.
Yeah, it does, and that's what they're watching right now. That's what they're watching and listening to. Because we're as on stream right now, we're in the middle of the match, but it's a radio cast. All right. Well, after 2 drops, that's a shame too, because that was a really good match. We're gonna have to do some drawing on the map now to explain that. But after 2 drops, the score is dead even. 450 rep points each, 1 drop each. And drop 1, Dropship 5 got, or 228 got 4 kills. Dropship 5 got the win with 8 kills, and they got the bonus out of it. Drop 2, 228 gets 8 kills and the bonus and the win. Dropship 5 got 4 kills. That's why we're at the even 450 rep. And Grim, since it was a radio cast.
Okay, I'll draw.
Well, if you, I was gonna say we both can if you want, but you go first, and then we'll see if I can. I'll see if I can't fill in some details if I remember anything here.
Okay, I'm gonna draw like D5's movement in red. They wait, that's not red. They moved into like G6, G7 into city here, and they set up like lines in these buildings, facing into Echo 7. During that movement, they had their lights come down here and were pressuring with strikes. But at the same time, while they were balling up there in F7, looking towards Gamma, 228 also came this way. Their Niger was set up towards in the back here, so you could take shots relatively safely. And you had a screen of, that dragon and several other mechs, and they also had, their light mechs down low trying to contest that Theta cap point with their hunchbacks also providing that firepower for the lights to contest that. And that trade there, there were several strikes that were dropped. The match sort of stalled there for several moments, and then Blackwatch decided to rotate across. And they got into Echo 4 as D5 did complete the rotation to come across and chase them, and able to get some good shots as they came across. And then once Blackwatch was able to sort of repel this intrusion by D5's light mechs on this side coming in, they were able to kite back and form sort of a concave looking in as D5 sort of trickled in off of this, and here there were several kills, and D5 got behind in kills, and then once Blackwatch rotated back down out, D5 followed them, and when they did follow them, some of Blackwatch's mechs were able to take up positions behind them while they doped the 9-tier that was here, and they were able to get the remaining kills in that crossfire. So that's what we saw. At least that's what I saw. The arrows might not be as perfect as to where exactly everything happened, but I stick to it.
Oh, I think you did a great job. The only thing.
It's a Picasso.
Yes, it's a Picasso. The only thing I think you missed, I drew 2 little red dots down there at Gulf 5 because at the beginning when Dropship 5 made that push up into Fox 7, they did have those 2 Overwatch mechs in Gulf 5 that were trying to keep the 228 mechs at bay while they were up there in Delta 6, Echo 6, etc. And it seemed to be working at first, and when the whole thing rotated was when those guys finally moved, and then they made that push.
Yeah, there was that standoff on that right side that was sort of unusual. I think either one team decides to pressure, and D5 was pressuring, even though they were down max, they were containing the pressure, and Blackwatch kept rotating out and kiting them. But D5 could have definitely chosen at that moment to pressure them in there, but they seemed to wait a little bit, hesitate a little bit, and that allowed Blackwatch to initiate the rotation and actually get a jump on it, so they were actually keep some distance and not take too much damage when they're crossing over to, no man's land around Theta.
Well, Grim did an excellent job of explaining it, in my opinion. He did draw a Picasso, so you should be happy, Grim. You do good work. You do good work. But that's going to take us into Drop 3, the Commander mode. In Drop 3, each team is required to bring 185-ton assault mech. And the bonus happens if you can keep your assault mech alive while killing the enemy assault mech. There are no lights in this drop, but there are 3 mediums and 4 heavies. So the total drop, 3 mediums, 4 heavies, and that 1 Commander assault. This is happening on Canyon Network. Oh, Canyon Network. That map that we all know so well from last year.
Oh, that map.
Oh, yeah, that map.
That map, though.
But, I mean, do you find that playing on Canyon Network is a little bit easier now because those of us who made it through that round robin last year know it so well?
Yeah, well, then everyone else knows it really well too, right? Like everyone else is really prepped on it too. I mean,
I don't know about that because I still get.
It's still a lot of people's favorite map.
Oh, it is, but I mean, I get into group play, and with my guys in the 318th, and we get, but there might only be 6 of us, so we have 6 other people on the team, and the other people on the team, it seems like right at the beginning. In fact, I'm gonna pull up the map here. I like talking about this one. Canyon Network Conquest. I'm gonna go back to the map strat here. One thing that I was taught last year during Worlds, I'm gonna use red to block out what we don't go on. I was told over and over and over again that we stay off of Theta. 1 light goes to Theta at the very beginning to get the magical blue dot, and then we stay out of these areas here because these are death traps. And then what you try to do, try to position your people in these Overwatch positions around the map. There's several different spots where you can, and you stay up top. And of course, this is if you're doing the long range game. It's a brawl game, it's a totally different story. But yeah, you station your guys, you get up top so that way you can maintain map control. If you get the right points, especially, let me wipe this again, if you get here, 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 and here, you have control over the entire map. You can see the entire map, you can control it, and you can tell what's going to happen and where. But so often, just like in standard group play, when we drop, if there's 6 of us in 228, we take our some standard positions, especially for running mid to long range trade. And then we see the other guys, the pugs on our team, they'll just make if they drop in Team 1 Lance A, they make a beeline straight for Theta. and then they all huddle around Theta. And the reason why we don't do that is because there's these big pillars of stones on Theta, and you have to rotate around so much just so you can see different parts of the map. That's the way it was beaten to my head last year by some guys in the Black Watch, Panic being one of them, and it just sticks. And I see it so often.
Well, I mean, what was the meta like last year? Look, we had like these powerful Kodiaks slinging that high alpha across the map. I don't think we see those Kodiaks anymore, do we? I mean, I think it's changed a bit. The meta.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
what do you double up on? Night Jeers? Do you bring those Gauss Peak Night Jeers? And what do you do? I think it's the meta's changed where you might want to exert some control on Theta, those ditches and alleyways around Theta, to be able to exert some pressure with some either mid-range max or some brawl.
Right. Well, yeah.
The drop is heavy though.
Yeah. But you're absolutely right. We brought 2 Kodiaks. We could double up in Worlds last year. We had 2 Kodiaks. Often we were using the ER Large Laser Grasshopper, Hunchback 2 CAs, of course, with the PPCs. Oh, that's right. There aren't any dropships on this one. I forget. And Grim, I did actually switch it to the proper scene now, so we're not gonna have a radio cast for drop 3.
Thank heavens.
And after drop 3, guys, we're going to give away 48 hours of premium time. So make sure you stay tuned to that. 228 IBR coming in with a Hunchback 2CA, a Nightgyre, a Warhawk C, an Ebonjag Prime, a Huntsman A, a Stormcrow Prime, a Timberwolf C, and a Nightgyre. 2 Nightgyres for them. What do you got over there in dropship 5?
A D5 doubled up on Ebonjags. They have 1 Nova Prime, a Cicada, a Timberwolf, 1 Nightgyre, and a Matusing as a result.
Now look at what's happening here. This is how, in my opinion, this is how it's supposed to be played. Look at the position of these mechs. Up top, long range
Real
fire.
standoffish.
Large pulse lasers, PPCs, taking upper positions where they can get the shots downrange. They're not down
Blackwatch
in these
approaching
trenches.
that Epsilon corner now.
Yes, they are. Let's take a look over here. Because we have Drops of 5's got a couple guys out there at the garbage heap. That's exactly why they're there, to keep guys be able to push that corner unseen, and they can get fire on that corner real easy.
That's a lot of firepower in that corner. You're talking about 2 Ebonjags, Timberwolf, and a Mad Adder 2C there, Marauder 2C, being able to put a lot of pressure there on that corner.
Yeah. Airstrike just narrowly misses Panic Button and Turok there. Lots of red smoke in the air, though. We talked about it in my last cast on Sunday during the Isengrim match. The power of strikes right now, it's OP, and it's totally meta.
Strikes are real game changing, and they can really like crit out your mech through the back, or they can open you up. They do a lot of damage, especially in assault mechs.
A couple
Those bigger
228 mechs
chassis really
are
eat a
already
lot of
down into
strikes.
the 70 percentile for health.
D5 fairly fresh here. You have no one below 80 yet.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. One last bite and Panic Button. They were the ones. Well, Panic Button peeked that corner and was taking shots from the garbage dump.
What I'm seeing is, Blackwatch is paying a little bit to exert some of that map control. They're paying the price, trying to exert that map control. They're trying to get closer to Theta, trying to get closer to that Epsilon corner. And just now, the D5 looks to be, trying to keep those trades going to get some of that map control more on the left there. But as you put pressure and as you exert map control, you expose yourself. And if the mech is looking that way, it's gonna, put some firepower on you. They're still striking, the double strike consumable meta. They're quadruple consumable meta. I mean, we've got Blackwatch now making that Epsilon corner push with the Nightgyre.
Yeah,
the Nightgyre's.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a little bit of a brawl here over here at the Epsilon corner. We got five 228 mechs poised on the corner, but Dropship 5 is pushing up. More strikes are going down.
D5's not even, they're not only ready to receive this push, but it looks like they're going to force it.
Well, they're staying low. They're staying low, and this to me seems like
these Nightgyres for 228 here are, I would even call that being caught out. I mean, I'm not sure what was called at that point,
Chrisman goes down for 228, but Panic Button takes her out. Samurai of many colors. However, Defunct looks like
also under a lot of pressure.
Yes, he is, and he goes down. He was being focused by 4 of them there. That's 2 down for the Blackwatch. And if Azrin's not careful, he's going to get caught by these guys. That's 4 mechs just below that hill on him there.
Blackwatch also had a UAV up. I said UAV above that, so they saw that movement. Those Nigers, really slow. Can't really escape that position as fast as they need to.
Mikado Soul taking a lot of damage there. Zaya's in that Nova Prime with those small lasers pushing right up on him. Mikado goes down. That's 4 down for each team. Let's see if we can get a look here. Adam Steiner here, and what's that? The Warhawk he's in. Panic button. Ooh, takes down Brother Tiber. So we're looking at 5 down for Dropship 5. Still 4 standing for Blackwatch.
Archon trying to cover Azrin here as Azrin's Huntsman's moving into that ditch. Archon still has all the weapons.
Looks like Panic Button is trying to push precariously close, but he's got his back turned. Snap style looks like he's going to stick up behind him. Oh, he jumps down into the ditch. Oh, and Panic Button goes down. Silken with a nice shot. Marauder 2C still standing for Dropship 5.
And he just took down Blackwatch's Warhawk. He had a good line on Archon there on that corner. Once Panic fell, and he was the next one there on that corner to be exposed.
Azrin and one last.
Max 3-2 here.
Yeah, but the Marauder 2C is still in fairly good shape. He got some damage to his right torso, but depending on how he built it, the majority of his weapons are going to be in his left torso. Look, they got them all. Was that the strike that did that? I missed it.
I was about to comment that those clan mechs, those Ebon Jags in that corner were able to push that corner, the Epsilon corner, really fast and catch those Nightjares out from Blackwatch's end and get those early kills. But once they have to reposition back towards the center of the map, they don't have those jump jets, so it took them a long time to get back to center. And in that time, Blackwatch was able to pick up some kills, but that was just once those Ebon Jags were able to get back into the fight, focus fire in towards the Warhawk, focus fire into that Timber and the Hunchbacks. It was, they were able to get those kills back and it closed out the game.
Well, Snap Style was in that Marauder 2C. That was the command mech. Yeah, that was the command mech, and he's still alive. So Dropship 5 will get the bonus for this drop.
Those heavies for T5 doing a lot of work. 600 for the Timberwolf, 500 for the Ebon Jags. The Panic's Timberwolf, also 500 damage. Nigerians did some work before they fell on Blackwatch's side, 400 and 300 respectively. There's Azrin did some damage in his Huntsman. So I mean, it's a close match, and there was sort of an ebb and flow to that. But D5 was able to take it in the end.
It was a close match, and so that changes the score a little bit. Dropship 5 now with 1 drop over the Blackwatch, 800 rep points to 575. That's going to bring us to Terra Therma. The 2-2-2-2 drop. 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults. And this is pretty much how it's played out in Worlds. You can do the same thing in Worlds. The only difference here really is duplicates. In MRBC, you can only bring 1 duplicate chassis. In Worlds, you can bring duplicates all day long. So that's gonna other than that, then this is basically how Worlds is gonna work right here. 8v8, 2-2-2-2. Grim, we've got some premium time to give away.
Oh, nice. Some giveaways.
Yeah, I'm gonna update. I think I'm gonna sneeze first here. Actually, hold on 1 second. Oh, allergies this season.
This channel, MRBC, lots of giveaways. Good stuff.
Oh yeah, we like to give away things here. So we're gonna give away 48 hours of premium time. I'm gonna go to my giveaway screen. All right, and we're gonna load some names. We're gonna load them from the MRBC League channel.
Make sure you put mine in twice.
Right. Actually, I have to remove your name.
Yeah. Get me out of there.
Well, if I had my way, I'd remove all of the 228 guys, but that's all right. Let's see. So Grim, we gotta get rid of you. We gotta get rid of Moobot, and we have to get rid of me. Let's see. There I am. All right. Let's give away some premium time. All right, slowing down. 48 hours of premium time is getting ready to go to somebody here. Need a pickle of the 228 IBR Swamp Foxes.
Rigged.
Right?
Rigged.
Right? Queenblade won one last Sunday. All right, so I'm just going to write down Nita's name here, and then I'll give that to him on TS a little bit later. Let's see here. Let's see. Nita gets kicked from the unit. No, just plain. 48 hours of premium time. All right. I'll get that to him here in a little bit. So while these teams are rating up, you want to take a look at the map strat and kind of go over what we saw there?
Sure.
Okay. Let's take a look here. Do you want to do the drawing or you want me to do it? Or let me wipe it.
Either way. I mean, we know trash pile. We had a mech over here. We had one mech here. Some mechs here. The medium mechs for D5 were in this canyon here, staying out of trouble, but staying low in case they were needed. And those two Ebon Jags on that D5 corner and sort of back in C5 with the Marauder 2C for D5 had a really strong position able to overlook the D5 corner. So when Blackwatch finally committed to this corner, decided to sort of push around with the two Nigers and their Timberwolf, they got some good shots off. But once D5 saw them do that, D5 was able, with the speed of those clan mechs, sort of turn this corner really quickly. And when that happened, Blackwatch's mechs had to dive, and those Nigers are just not fast enough. So both Nigers there, and I heard Chrisman in chat, I think, said something about a disconnect or he lagged. So even with that, on top of that, those two Nigers were picked up really quickly. But with those heavy mechs for D5 caught out of position, Blackwatch's Warhawk had some good lines over here. The Timberwolf ended up in the canyon. Hunchback and Hunchman were still doing some work. So they were able to get some kills back. But once D5's mechs were able to come back and get some lines over Theta, they got those kills back and were able to take the game. And it was really close throughout. But I think that initial sort of peek poke, sort of stutter peek of Epsilon by Blackwatch, got some good shots off, and then decided to come back into Theta. And then D5's quick initiative push to get on around there with their heavies who had that speed to get that more firepower on those Nigers. That really turned the match, and that really put D5 in the driver's seat to close out the game. And they really, despite Blackwatch, they were able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the step at the start because that was exactly what I was just talking about right before we dropped there. You know, take those upper positions, get the lanes of fire, control the map that way. And so I mean, it started off almost exactly like how Panic taught it to us last summer. The part, I guess, that confused me a little bit was I thought the Blackwatch mechs pushed up the Theta a little too soon. I mean, I know you can do that at some points in the drop once you've established total map control and you know exactly where your enemy is, and that they don't pose a threat to Theta, because at Theta you can get shot from all sides. And so when I saw those 228 mechs push up the Theta, I thought that was a little too early in the drop. There weren't enough of the Dropship 5 mechs down yet. 228 had taken some numbers there already.
They did take fire. They did take a little bit more damage coming in, but they did establish a little bit more map control. I mean, you have to get that Warhawk closer to the center of the map because that Warhawk has LPLs, so it's got to get closer to get that damage on. So you know they did take some early fire, but by doing that, I think Blackwatch had initiative until they made that sort of quasi push on the right side that did not end up working because I don't think those Nigers were fast enough to get out of that position. But I think it actually looked good for Blackwatch from the beginning. It just D5 saw something, recognized a weakness, exploited it, made that push in that corner, and picked up 2 kills. That I think at that point they were really in control of the match and were able to close it out. But yeah, you know, with those Kodiaks back in the day, if they had Gauss at PPC, you could sit back, you know, in farther areas around Canyon Network and really work angles and really get those shots off. But if you have like an LPL Warhawk, you got to get up close and start putting that hurt on, right? So I think that move to Theta is, you know, has a consequence of that shorter range assault mech.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. The Gauss PPC Kodiak. I mean, the Kodiak's been nerfed to oblivion almost. It seems like. But a year ago, Gauze also had longer range. It's between Worlds last year and now that Gauze got its range nerf, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong there. Oh, but you weren't around. I'm sorry.
The Gauze nerfs?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The range on those got nerfed a bit, so they kind of went from being a really awesome.
And they also decoupled the torso twist from the engine, right? So it's a full 110 assault, 110 assault. So it's got that, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's gonna have that slow torso twist. It can't really snap off a shot, and they show that arm anymore. It's more easy to knock out its torsos and stuff. It's lost a lot of mobility, a lot of pitch and yaw on its torso.
We still see the Kodiaks a little bit, especially in Drop 5, but it's just not the prominent mech that it used to be. I mean, Season 8, Season 7, Worlds last year, you would see 2 Kodiaks guaranteed in Drop 4. In Drop 5, I mean, it was hands down the go-to mech there. But now, with all the nerfs that it got, it's just not as common as it used to be. Well, we got the teams. We got everybody in the lobby here, just waiting for 228 to ready up so that Dropship 5 can start moving their guys around. Once we see everybody is green, we will go with Drop 4. Drop 4, Terra Therma 2222. I know I already talked about this. 2 mechs of every weight class. And
What do you double up on, RJ? It's hot map.
Nightjars.
Think so?
Oh yeah. I think we'll see 4 Nightjars in this map. Easy.
They're really good in heat maps, and they still seem strong.
I mean, and the AC2 Nightjar. Everybody keeps telling me how good this mech is. I found it pretty useful in the solo queue. Not so much in group queue, at least in my opinion. But there are other people who swear by it. And the AC2 Nightjar. Well, heck, you can bring the PPC Gauze Nightjar on this map, and since it's not affected by the outside temperatures, it won't. It plays just exactly the same.
It's nice to be on a hot map and not having to worry about your heat. Versus if you're like in a brawler or a mech that's trying to DPS and it's a really hot map, you're going to come into moments where you have to use those cool shots, and it prevents you from really DPS into your full potential. There's some really good lines on this map for those night gears. There's also some really good choke points. So we might see some sort of mixed decks, some brawl with some range. I'm not sure if mid-range is as effective with a bunch of lasers, especially with a nerf, and plus it's a hot map, but we'll see.
All right, Terra Therma 2222, 2 mechs of every weight class. The bonus is 1 if you can kill all the heavies and assaults on the enemy teams, which means that both teams can theoretically come out of here with a bonus, and it's happened before. If you just have the lights and mediums left on the enemy team, but you killed all the heavies and assaults, your team's going to get that bonus. Hot map. I'm predicting Nightjars. I guess we will see. Ooh, you can see a planet over here. I didn't realize that.
2 Nigerias for Blackwatch. 2 Nigerias for D5. Right on the money.
Alright, let's get some information up here. Alright, so Dropship 5, I'm looking at their side. They have, the 2 Nightjars, which you mentioned. A Nova Prime, a Wolfhound 2, a Jenner F. A Jenner F. Wow, I haven't seen one of those in comp play in a long time. What is... It's Salmon of many colors.
Panics and a Kodiak.
Medium lasers. You called it.
Smack talking the Kodiak.
Well, I'm not... It's just not the mech that it was.
We both were, right?
But you...
Archon's back in that Warhawk.
But you were saying Intersphere medium lasers. We'll probably see more Intersphere mechs. And here's a Jenner F in comp play from a Division A team. I did not expect to see that. Early shots from Queen Blade and Samurai of many colors. Looks like a contest for Theta. Queen quickly moves off Theta. He knew he was outnumbered there because Charlemagne was with Samurai right there. Never fight a fair fight. Never fight a 2v1 if you're the one. All right, looks like most of Dropship 5 is huddled around Gamma. Most of 228 is near Epsilon. They're all kind of...
228 trying to get lines on Theta now. D5 has that cap lead 3-2 now. This is that long lane over Theta that both teams are watching, with that big rock in between it. It's really hard to sneak by. You have Queen Bake picking that the lava bridge on the left.
Hard to sneak by, hard to get lines. A lot of people say this is a very good map for brawling. I don't know that I've found the best niche for this map yet. Wasn't thrilled that it was added to MRBC this season.
Blackwatch just crossed the lava river on the left side. Panic's Kodiak's out in front. The light mech and a hunchback. D5 sees him coming though. They seem to be making a concave here.
Yeah, but large pulse lasers, hot map again though. I mean, I think we're gonna see some mechs overheating here. Snap style and that Marauder 2C. I know that's a hot mech because that's one of my favorite mechs. Yep, 6 medium lasers, 2 large pulse. That is a hot mech, especially on this map.
Matt and his hunchback, the only one really hurt on D5. One last bite has taken a lot of damage in his hunchback though, down to 45% or so. Blackwatch huddled behind those spires for a second. Now they're rotating back in towards the center of the map and towards Theta.
Yeah, one last bite is hurting. He needs to start trading out some armor with some of the other members of the Blackwatch there.
Staff's out really close in that Marauder 2C, but he's got some good defilade in. Rage of Land is backing him up with that Warhawk.
Yeah, but
both
I think
Night Jeers for Blackwatch seem to be popping.
And it's he's got a couple of big 228 mechs just right on the other side of this rock. I just don't know if they realize he's right there. They have to know. It's like
Azrin and his Hunt's been taking some damage, but that's the price you pay when you have to cover your light mechs. Seems that Blackwatch's got control Theta now. So Blackwatch gets capped 3-2.
Yep, Cap Favor does move to 228 as Grim mentioned. Okay, looks like these guys are getting close now. Panic button charging, no one behind him. He's not being backed up and he goes down. Adam standing back, but he's getting focused now. Strikes, Snap Style sees him.
Wow, he dropped a lot from that strike. Plus, he's being outfit here by Rage, and it seems to have a lot of heat left on his mech.
We got 3 down now for Blackwatch. Couple hurt mechs. Snap. Yeah, and Snap Style just goes down for dropship 5. Brandon Moon drops for Blackwatch.
Blackwatch out to a Lance. D5 definitely in control here.
Queen looks like he's trying his best here. But, I mean,
D5's lights getting in the back shots here on Defunct and Chris.
There goes Chris and Defunct. This drop is definitely going in Dropship 5's favor. Adam, last one standing. All lasers on him.
You know, Blackwatch got behind the spires there, and they were able to get some defilade, and they bought themselves some time, and they're able to get Theta again. But once they did that, you know, they paid a little bit of price there. But D5 able to work those angles on that side, take a lot of shots at Panic Button, get that Kodiak down. It's kind of hard to hide that Kodiak, and focus him down rapidly. So it's really tough when you get a no man's land like that. It's a lot easier for D5's, Nigerians to be able to work from an open area Overwatch over those mechs versus if you're a Niger really up close to terrain and you have, you only get to see the enemy when you really pop up and you have to make split-second decisions versus the enemy gets to basically have a full profile look at you and have guns to bear on you. But tough loss for Blackwatch there.
Okay, so Blackwatch gets 2 kills. Dropship 5 got 8. Why don't you look at some of those damage numbers for us there, Grim?
Soakit and his Niger, almost 600 damage. Raging, a lot of damage in that Warhawk. He was able to keep getting that, cutting that, slicing that pile in that corner and kept cutting off Panic Button and getting a lot of damage in on those assault mechs on that side. On Blackwatch's side, Chrisman doing a lot of work in that Niger, able to constantly pop and get targets. It's once you start a few of your mechs drop in these heavier weights, it starts to become much more of a snowball. And we kind of saw that there. Once D5 was able to slice that corner and get some kills, it became really hard for Blackwatch to maneuver from there. We gonna do another giveaway, or what was RJ, are you muted or something? Hello? Hello?
Was I muted the whole time?
Just probably a minute or two, maybe.
Interesting. I didn't remember hitting my mic switch there, but I think it was down. That's weird. I think I'm gonna have to replace my mic switch. That's a nice thing about having a professional mic. I can pull it apart and replace little pieces in it when I need to, instead of having to buy a whole new headset. All right, so yes, we are going to do a giveaway. And sorry, I was trying to fix something with the map there with the overlay. That's what I was trying to tell you, Graham. My overlay was messed up there, so I had to make a quick adjustment to the overlay because it wasn't showing the proper GIF for HPG there. But we are going to do a giveaway. We're going to give away. What are we giving away now? We're going to give away a mech bay. So let's go to the giveaway screen.
Parking spot out.
Yep. Mech bay. And we're going to clear this list. Add viewers. MRBC League. All right. And we're going to get rid of you, Grim.
Not like this.
Not like this. And then we're going to get rid of me. Let's take a back up a little bit here. Where is I? There I am. All right. All right. One mech bay going to one lucky winner. Spinning nice and fast now that I redid my PC. A couple of you might remember I was having some problems with that a couple of weeks ago.
Did you upgrade it, like over to the Hapster?
Well, PC is the same. Operating system changed. All right, temporary access. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. Temporary access, if you could send me a whisper in Twitch, and then that way I make it really easy to send this to you here after the match is done. But I got that written down, and we will get that to you here as soon as we are done. Get the map switched over for these guys. All right.
So much work, RJ.
It is. It's a lot of work. And tonight I'm just having an off night. I forgot I did a radio cast. My mic muted. I flipped over to the map screen when we're still in the pre-stream. Not my best stream tonight. Definitely. Hopefully I get all this stuff cleared up for Thursday. But going into drop 5, again, 625 rep points for Blackwatch, 3 drops 1,150 rep points for dropship 5. This is the heaviest drop. 2 lights, 2 heavies, and 4 assaults, and we're going to HPG manifold. What do you think, Grim? 4 assaults.
We get to play Rock and Sock and Robots, huh?
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see what gets doubled up from both sides. You could double up on an assault, or you could double up on that heavy spot to get some more consistency in what you want to do with those heavies. I know last week, or before the patch, there might have been a lot of laser vomit on some of those assaults. Maybe not this time around, but it seems to still be popular on things like the Warhammer and Marauder 2C, which is I definitely expected to be in this match. Maybe we'll see a Kodiak. You can find some great firing lines on HPG. You could see some brawl. There's opportunities to get in really close as long as you hustle and your team's got some speed. But a lot of options because you do have 4 in that assault spot. And you can only double up on one chassis, so it makes it really interesting on how you really want to get some consistency in your chassis in this drop.
And the Gen RF that Dropship 5 brought last drop, you think we'll see more of that? Like that was interesting. You called it at the beginning of the match. You said more inner sphere and medium lasers, probably see more inner sphere mechs, and seeing that Gen RF in the last drop. First time I've seen a Gen RF in a comp drop. probably since maybe season 7, season 6.
It's got that good profile, so you could get those lasers up, peek over some terrain, and get its burn off before you can really get a good shot off on it. It's a little bit less of a little bit different of a playstyle than something like the previous week, like a small pulse laser archer cheetah that kind of like flies in behind your back, gets a really good pinpoint, really quick alpha on a section of your mech that does a lot of damage. These Jenners can't really do these flybys. Sometimes they really have to play that picky pokey style game because they do really still have those big CTs. So it's dangerous being one of those mechs.
Yeah, the CT is exactly what I was thinking. I mean, when I first started playing this game, the Jenner F was the go-to light mech. It was, in fact, there was a PDF that was written at the time. We're talking 2013, 2014, or some PDF that was player written as a guide to the game, and he recommended the Jenner F as a first mech purchase if you like lights. But I don't think since I think the Jenner F kind of fell out of favor with the release of the Firestarter, and we just haven't seen a whole lot of it since. So I don't know.
Well,
I know.
we
It's
saw
curious.
we saw Firestarter.
Yeah, we did. We did the Firestarter.
Pulses.
Ever since
That's a metageist.
Ever since the Arctic Cheetah came out. Ever since the Arctic Cheetah came out, the Firestarter, well, especially after the Firestarter got that buff to its size, the Firestarter is huge now. And so, I mean, you called it. These Intersphere mechs are coming back out of the woodworks. It's very, very interesting to see. Patch day like this, it's always weird trying to figure out what's going to change, what's going to be different, and we're seeing a lot of it.
Marauder to see, right? We're gonna see that.
Say what?
Think so? Marauder to see your favorite mech. We'll see it in this drop.
Oh yeah, that thing. I still think the Marauder 2C, because it's medium lasers and large pulse lasers to begin with. Those didn't get hit as bad as like the small pulse laser.
How about Battlemaster?
Well,
that got nerfed.
Did it get nerfed pretty bad? I didn't even see that one.
I think it lost its defensive bonuses on its quirks.
Oh, of course it did. I mean, that mech was doing so good too. All right, here we go. Drop 5. I'm gonna go ahead and launch it. Stream right now is currently, they're 5 minutes behind, and they're just now seeing the giveaway. So it's all right. We're over 100 viewers though.
Placate them with gifts.
Yeah, we're gonna give away after this drop. We're gonna give away 500 MC. We're gonna give away 500 MC. We're gonna talk with the team leaders, and probably a little bit more BS between Grim and I here, just to close things out. But drop 5, dropship 5 up, 5-1. I can never find the dropships on this map. But here they come. All right, on dropship 5 side, we got a Warhawk C, a Wolfhound 2, an Ebon Jag, Raven 4X, Marauder 2C, there it is, a Nightgyre, 2 Marauder 2Cs, and a Direwolf. What we got over there on the 228 side there, Grim?
They doubled up on Nightgyres in the heavy slot. I think it's a little more consistency in that role. They do have a Victor. They brought a 9S. They have a Kodiak, the Marauder 2C, and a Warhawk. And a cheetah, a cheetah and a wolfhound to round out the lights.
Okay, one of the Marauder 2Cs is the standard 6 medium lasers, 2 large pulse. And the other one, 6 medium lasers, 2 large pulse. Kind of curious to see what they have in this Direwolf. 4 clan large pulse lasers. So the Direwolf is just 4 large pulse.
Wow.
I don't even think the Direwolf is tanky enough. It doesn't move fast enough for me. Because it got nerfed, what, a year and a half ago?
It's a slow chassis. It's definitely a slow chassis.
And it's not as tanky as it was when the clans first came out.
Both teams are inside. HPG are inside the arena.
Yeah, both approaching the center. 2 caps for each side.
Blackwash Nightgyres up on the causeway there, trying to establish some lines.
Mikado Soul falls down in his Marauder 2C. He's going to be out of the picture for a minute because it's going to take him a minute to get back up. Charisman poking up high in his Nightgyre, trying to get those lines through Theta. Oh, and Dropship 5 has got somebody up on the wall. Samurai of many colors in that Raven. I bet you, yeah, 4 ER larges? 2 ER larges. That's right.
Strike on Panda Button's Kodiak here. It looked like 228 was trying to establish some more control on the right side and get access to the top. But D5 is also balled up on the opposite side of those ramps. And now we have a shootout. Lots of strikes down to both sides.
Lots of strikes. 228 down low on the back side of Theta, or the radar dish. Looks like Dropship 5 is maintaining higher positions, slightly better map control here. Snap
Two had
style
a
up.
trade here, but it looks like D5 is winning in early trades.
Yeah, and they got
moving
the,
down to 78%. Mikado sold down to 52%.
they got
Defunct
both of
down to
those.
75.
Oh, but Charlemagne goes down, taken up by one last bite. Nice strike right across both the Marauder 2Cs. Snap style down to 62%.
Blackwatch's Kodiak and Warhawk seem to be isolated on the right side. D5's mechs on top of the platform now have those lines on them. They're trying to rotate out, but they're taking a lot of fire.
Yeah,
Some cover strikes for them, though.
Let's see. Matt 3049 down to 50%. Snap style down to 48. The strikes keep coming in. 228 numbers not looking very good either. Panic button down to 48%. Mikado Soul down to 39%. A couple of these guys, let's take a look at what's hurt on him. Yeah, he's crit everywhere. Mikado Soul is not going to last long.
D5's Direwolf went down on the left side there, but he diverted at least 4 mechs on Blackwatch's side to go kill that Direwolf, and that's going to leave Panic Button exposed, and now he's down.
Yep,
and
he's
Mikado's
down.
Soul's not far from that.
Yeah, Mikado Soul is pretty damaged. Adam in that Warhawk, he's also crit pretty bad, down to 59%. Got 2 down for each side. Queenblade working his magic in his Arctic Cheetah. 3 down for both sides now. One last bite, and Brother Tiber. Brother Tiber being focused by Queenblade in one last bite. He's down to 75%. One last bite in that Victor, though. He's hurting. He drops down. He drops down to get out of the way. He's in bad shape. He's down, too. Snap Style and the Silken had Overwatch over that position there. The remaining 228 mechs looks like they're trying to take the top. They got
Nitrous for 228 still pop charting from the top. Archon's tried to find some cover. He's still badly beat up in that Warhawk.
Krisman takes down Zioz. Defunct takes down the Silken. Krisman drops. 3 left for each side. How's Defunct looking in his Nightjar? Defunct
Still has
is
all those weapons.
Yeah, and he's at 63%. Nothing's really crit damage, but nothing really too crit. He's got Brother Tiber standing right below him. Brother Tiber at 63%, so he's also not in bad shape. Adam goes down. Yep, 2v2. And this is going to get interesting right here. Oh, nice back shot into Brother Tiber, it looks like. Let's get into Defunct's mech here, see what's going on. Oh, nice kill on Snap Style.
Oh, geez, it's a bad guy. Your CT.
The CT is, yeah, Brother Tiber's CT is crit. He can get him. There it is.
Nice clutch there by Defuncticon.
Yes, very nice clutch.
You know, you divert that many mechs to put away that Dire. You know, it's going to cost you on the other side. And there was some cost on the other side, but once Utah was able to shift back into that fight, you know, get their Victor back in, get their Nigerians back in, get their light mix back into that fight. Now their assaults are, you know, relieve some of that pressure off those assaults. Mikado's Soul doing a great job to his team. He took forever to die. Panic Button doing a great job to his team. Took forever to die. So finally, by the time they went down, those assaults went down. Two Taste Mechs were able to come back and a lot of clutch shots. Chris,
oh my fucking god!
Radio match.
Oh, what the fuck is wrong with me tonight? Fucking radio cast again. I can't believe I did. That was a great match. Oh, there's the score screen, people. Oh, for God's sake. I just need to give up tonight. Jesus.
Holy moly, it was a good one to cast, but man.
Oh, that was a good match. Oh! And I was trying to get into the cockpit for everybody and everything. Put the paper doll more. Son of a bitch. I shouldn't be cursing this much on the MRBC stream either. I can't believe I did that. Twice! In one match! Not
Can we
my
do
night,
replay?
man.
We can't do replay. Batman hasn't showed you how to do a replay yet. Can you replay the
Well,
match at least?
if I replay, it's going to come from YouTube and it's still going to be a radio cast.
But they got at least see the match though, right? They didn't get to see the match, did they?
No, they don't get to see the match because I'm streaming it. They see what I stream, and I did another freaking. Oh, they can't see it.
Can't
Son of a
replay it.
Bitch.
At least
I
replay
can't-
it while we get the team captains ready, right?
I can't replay it. I have nothing to replay. I have a radio cast to replay. Ah. All right. Well, final score. Oh, this isn't right. I gotta save this. Final score: Black 228 Blackwatch 975 rep to Dropship 5's 1300 rep. 3 drops to 2. So still a close match all the way around. Great job by both teams there. And I really wish you guys could have seen that last match. God, I can't believe I did that. I'm never gonna live this night down. I got another cast on Thursday with you, and everybody's gonna be reminding me of this one.
Just get it out of the system. Get it out of the system.
Right. D Scout, RJ Trout Radio. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we give away the 500 MC?
Placate them.
You know what? We're gonna give away. Let me see. Let me look at my codes here. Let me pull up my codes. See what I got here. Bombadil stocked me up. Let's see. Bombadil stocked me up last week for my stream. We're gonna give away 1,000 MC, 2 500 MCs. One 500 MC to a winner. We're gonna do that because I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna. These are the codes I'm supposed to use for my personal stream. But we're gonna give them to. We're gonna give out 2 of them today because I screwed up. Bad.
Well, we got. Were we at least 50%? Well, we missed 2 and we got 3.
Yeah, they got to see 3 of the matches.
Still,
3 of the
you know, more than half.
Shit. Oh, I just can't believe that. I haven't done it all season, and then I did it twice in one match. All right, we're gonna get rid of Moobot, and then we're gonna get rid of me. All right. All right, 500 MC. Slowing down here. Who's going to be our first winner? Steam Bag. Steam Bag is going to win 500 MC. I'm going to write that down. If you could, Steam Bag, send me a Twitch whisper just to remind me here after we get done. And the way my memory is working tonight, we're definitely going to need that reminder here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. We want to grab this. I'm going to remove you from the list since you just won. And get rid of that. And we're going to give away one more. Here we go.
You better give away another one.
I know, right? I think I owe him. I think I owe him.
That was a great clutch we radio cast.
Yeah, it really was. Defunct had a great match.
Back-to-back kills. Oh, it was so exciting. Oh, it's so good to be,
Carpet
see it live.
Fresh. Congratulations. Carpet Fresh. You also are going to get 500 MC. Please send me a whisper in Twitch. Oh, they're clipping it too. They're clipping my reaction. Oh, God. Well, at least it's not as bad as last season when, or was that season 7 when Bandit was casting?
Sure. Throw Bandit under the bus.
Well,
Sure.
no. But he was casting.
Bring up old stuff. Sure.
He was casting the Div A final. I mean, this is a week 4 match. He was casting the Div A final and had the radio cast. But I got 2 in 1 match. That's probably a record.
Yeah, it's better than 3 though. At least we didn't hit 3.
Okay, 1 sec. Okay, we got Raging Banana here. We need to get Panic Button in here. I wonder if he knows where to go. I'll tell you what. Why don't I put the map strap for? Well, yeah, you're gonna have to walk them through that since they didn't get to see it. Oh, that's Mining Collective. We want HPG. Yeah, let's go to the map strap. Why don't you walk them through the map while I go find Panic Button?
Sure. If the map strap comes up.
It should be up.
Not up for me.
Refresh the page.
Connected.
I did. Oh, these technical difficulties, RJ.
I know, right?
Sound muted.
Okay, we got the map up. Okay, so Team 1, Blackwatch, ended up coming in. And, you know, I'm not going to describe the early movements. What ended up really happening was Blackwatch's Nightgears were able to have this position up here on this causeway. And while that was going on, they kept their assaults low on like the second level of Theta here in this area. And then D5 was able to have their mechs on the opposite side of Theta on the second level here. They did have one Overwatch mech. I think it might have been that Raven with ER-Lars lasers here. And as both teams were trying to do a rotation into each other, they ended up firing into each other across the ramps that are going into Theta. They were just basically shooting across those ramps. When D5 finally did do a rotation and Blackwatch did a counter rotation, that Dyer ended up getting caught out in this area here. And when that happened, Blackwatch's assault mechs tried to make a move this way. And as they were doing that, Blackwatch's other mechs, including all their fast movers, were
Insufficient
killing that Dyer. And that bought D5 enough time to have their mech swing up and take top position and be able to have lines down on the assault mechs for Blackwatch as they were trying to rotate away. They ended up getting panicked before they could really rotate out, but he still took a long time to go down. Mikado Soul's Marauder took a long time to go down. They eventually got the Warhawk, but while that was happening, Blackwatch's Nightgears were able to once again get position up top. Their fast movers, their light mechs were able to come back, and then that Victor, one last bite, was able to really get deep and really get down in here and cause a lot of damage. And that's where we had some very clean, clutch Nightgear play. We saw some really good clean kills on the part of D5 on the back end, and you know, it was a really good match at the end that came down to the wire. Came down to I think a 3v3, then a 2v2, and then Defunk was able to get multiple kills in a row to close it out.
Yeah, it was a great match overall. Again, final score, Dropship 5, 3 drops to Blackwatch's 2, 1,300 rep points to 228's 975. Raging Banana has joined us. Oh, Raging Banana has joined us in channel, and Panic Button wants to join us in channel. I'm going to get him the tools. There should be an invite buddy here somewhere. Invite buddy through the channel. Copy to clipboard. Link this to him. All right, he should be. So Panic should be joining us any second now.
How you doing, Raging?
Raging, how you doing, man?
Doing all right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Let me turn you up a little bit so we can hear.
Thanks
you
for
a
giving
little
us your time, dude.
Nice.
You guys got one. You guys got one more match?
2 more actually. We got one against I think Smoke Jaguar. I mean Steel Jaguar to Thursday, and then I think one more match against Oz.
You guys had a really good MRBC run so far. Like, how's the team feeling now with the CompQ coming and the close out of the season? How's the morale? How's the team spirits? Everyone excited?
Yeah, I think we're pretty excited. Just looking to close out MRBC strong, bolster our roster, iron out some kinks. You know, the usual when you go from one season into a slight lull before another season. Yeah, we're feeling pretty good right now. We just want to keep it up. You know, no mistakes, no slip ups.
So let me. I pulled up TS so people could see who's talking here. Again, still waiting for Panic to come join us. I am gonna pull up the division standings one more time so everybody can see it. All right, so you guys had a good match tonight. 3 drops to 2. You came out with the rep points. You guys have not lost a drop all season. I mean, I don't. I guess I'm surprised that I don't know that I've ever seen a team, or I don't remember seeing a team except for maybe EMP going the whole season without a loss. Is this what you expected going into the season? I mean, or is this coming kind of as a surprise to you guys?
I think that when we came into this season, our expectation was to perform as well as we can and let the chips fall where they were. I think last season we finished 3rd or 4th. I cannot remember offhand. We did a lot of rebuilding and we did a lot of shuffling with pilots and such what. So at this point, it was just, you know, prep, go for it, and see what happens. And I would say that 228's always been one of our biggest teams to play. They've always given us a really good fight, and it's always a pleasure to fight them. So coming in here, I think that all heads were basically ready to roll, and we wanted to make this as close as we could. We didn't expect as tight of as as good of a season as we had. I mean, honestly, you know, you play like you play to win, but you prep as if everything is going to go against you. So I think I'd say it's a little bit of surprise.
All right. Well,
and this match in particular, like, turnaround on the patch is kind of extreme. How much time did you guys how much thought did you guys put into it for this particular match, like the decks and stuff and the belts?
The last week we spent mostly just doing math. I'm actually called in today. I swapped my days off so that I could be in here.
Dedication, boys!
So a lot of it was just trying to figure out how much the laser was going to adjust the meta, like the laser changes, and I think we saw a lot of new things because honestly, small pulses, especially clans, don't feel very good at all. So we did a lot of math. That's pretty much it. The long short of it is that I spent most of my time in spreadsheets, not in the game. So.
Right. I understand. Well, Panic Button has also joined us here from the Black Watch. Panic, thanks for joining us over here. What about you guys?
Yeah.
Prepping for today's match right after the patch dropped. I mean, just hours ago. What were you guys doing? What was your science all about there? And how did you prep for this?
Last week we hopped into some spreadsheets and got some numbers down, but it was kind of looking dicey. I mean, most of the changes. So we had a couple guys arguing against this, I think. But the point that I was trying to make is we were running the hunchbacks hunchbacks to the laser vomit right before the patch with the skill tree in it, which means we were running them with the stock laser duration. And once the skill tree patch dropped, they became, you know, as I'm sure somebody at PGI was looking at the stats and holy shit, what did we do? Because all of a sudden you had the low duration of the mediums and the LPLs combined with the laser duration skills that you could pick up really made the laser vomit that we saw last week, harken back to the days of everyone taking UAC 5s when they changed the jam chance that one time.
Oh yeah.
Before they realized their mistakes. But no, it was really fun. It provided a good shakeup for the whole. I think the skill tree provided a decent shakeup for the whole stagnation that was going on. Actually, maybe a mixed opinion here. I think it was a good idea, despite maybe execution, but it allowed us to have a lot more freedom over what we were doing, and maybe added a couple different variables that make the getting into really competitive MechWarrior maybe a little bit harder than it already was. Maybe a good or bad thing, some argument to be made there. But this week we were focused on just looking at the numbers and sort of evaluating whether or not it was going to be a big enough impact to change the builds, because changing builds and decks to last minute, we don't I don't know if for various reasons I don't think we were as fast as at adapting to new build strategies, etc., as other teams are. I have no excuse for that, but it just seems to be the case that like teams like D5, Osiris, and SGR, it seemed to pick up new things quite quickly and employ them very effectively, and so it's always kind of a scramble for us to try to get back up on par with those teams, which we saw last couple weeks. I mean, we were having the other teams were playing phenomenally, and we were just sort of there. But this week I'm glad we showed up to play and at least gave them a couple good matches. We had we had some decent execution. D5 had some excellent execution. I felt like all in all I'm pretty pleased with how that went. We're just and now we're looking forward to finishing out the season and going ahead and getting in the last match despite the competitive queue having dropped. I'm hoping that taking the first week of competitive queue to sort of not play it, or maybe play it sparingly and get our bearings, is not going to screw us over for the to get into the World Championships. We shall see.
Well, and interestingly enough, since you said that, Eon and EMP played 3 drops in the competitive queue earlier today, and there's already a post on Outreach about some of the things that they don't like about it. And I took a moment just to read through the main part of that. I haven't finished reading the rest of it, but
it's okay, boys. The fix is in. Eon Synergy is being paid to throw every match against EMP for the next 10 weeks. They're just going to meet up at some obscure hour when no one else is playing and farm each other. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it was good. It was good games tonight. D5 played phenomenally.
Oh yeah, I mean you both did. I was very. There was only there was a couple moments that I questioned, but me being 228, I think I'm. And you being my boss, I guess I can't be too critical here. I could get fired, right?
No, please.
But I mean, there was a couple of things that I saw from the 228 side, just based off of everything that you've taught me over the last year, and I just don't know if I really want to quite go there yet. But Grim called it, kind of going back to the patch that came in today. Grim called it earlier, before the match even started, that he thought we would see more mechs that were more different mechs in the comp play tonight, especially focusing on Innersphere medium lasers. And sure enough, first drop, well, Azrin came with an urban mech, which totally surprised me.
Both teams had urban mechs.
Indestructible urban mech, 90 armor, center torso, must have.
The thing is bulletproof and extremely frustrating to try and fight in a medium, because the thing just spins and shoots you, and it's just annoying.
Yeah. This is for both drop callers. I noticed a lot in the matches. That first match, it seemed D5 came into center. There was like an initial standoff there, then 228 rotated out. Like the Frozen City drop, there was like a standoff in the city where D5 looked like they were balling up to make that push in Team 1's side, and then 228 slipped out on a rotation. That Canyon Network push on that Epsilon corner, it looked like 228 was going to have that firing line. Then D5 saw what happened. They made the push. What are comms like? Did you guys have? It seemed like there was a lot of like standoffish moments where both teams decided to do a few trades and then decide to make some movement. Like how are comms? Like, is this the new mechs that we're seeing? Is this a new meta? Like, what's rather than being these hard, fast pushes or these Overwatch concaves, it seemed to be like a lot of like standstill, a lot of like touch and go, and then some sort of hard push after one team's had enough or so. So this is for both captains.
You want to lead, Panic, or you want me to go? I don't know.
It doesn't matter. I'm not sworn in yet. Do I need to answer this?
Well,
please raise your right hand.
What I would say tonight is like we've played each other a lot in the past year, and we've kind of gotten a feel for how each other respond. And so I think that between Blackwatch and us specifically, you see a little bit more poking and probing to try and cajole the other team into making a move. This is just from my side anyway. And so sometimes there would be some discussion on what we think they were doing and what we could see what they're doing because hindsight is 2020. But especially on the canyon drop, we had a strategy, and I promptly threw it in the trash can, and we did something I didn't think we would do. And the entire time I was just screaming, and people were listening, so it worked. That was pretty much mostly what happened tonight for us.
I guess sort of. I mean, yeah, we have a general idea of how D5 is going to play, and so we kind of have this idea that depending on what we've taken, we may or may not be able to control the map early and either force him to make a move or like understand that we're going to have to make a move at some point. Specifically for the Frozen City match, we took the Dragon. It was kind of like, going out on a limb, because in a lighter drop like that, you understand that the other team is fully capable of closing the gap really quickly. And I thought the key factor for victory in that was that the D5, I think you guys waited a little bit too long to actually push down across the middle, because they had us in a really bad spot where we had too many people split and looking into too many different directions. And we had Chrisman backing into a corner in that Dragon because he was trying to maintain range. We ended up being able to, getting just enough time to actually react and just regroup on that side of the map, even though we had no cap or map control at that point, but everyone was sort of committed to this idea that the other team just wasn't going to leave that corner alive, and we ended up being able to come out on top of that, which was just, I think we were all in the comms doing very, very trying to coordinate very small micro movements, like myself getting behind that push and Chris kiting the rest of the D5 players out of the city on the exit from that upper area back down onto the bridge down there in the valley at the very end. It was all very technical. There wasn't a lot of shouting as there has been in the past. For those of you that are familiar, it was a lot quieter, but it was a lot of comms. It was really technical, but we managed to keep it clean for that one. The canyon match, the push on the right hand side was unexpected. I think we kind of mistimed when that was going to happen, and by the time it happened, we have a sort of a default strategy for that's safer. But when I called it, I wasn't paying attention to where our Nightmares were, and so I kind of threw that with the call. We had people that were reacting appropriately, like with our mediums, but I sort of countermanded that in the middle of it, and it ended up completely giving the positioning advantage to D5, who in a league like this with the players of this caliber and teams of this caliber, you really just can't afford to make a mistake or have any doubt in your team or have any doubt in your current positioning. You just sort of have to, you have to have number one, you've got to have pilots that are skilled enough to play at this level, and then number two, you have to be able to stick there and really make a call or be in a position and pay attention to where your pivot mechs are. Like those Nightmares only run 64.
Speaking of those pivot mechs,
yeah.
Ragin, Panic, both of you guys pilot assaults. Ragin, you were in that dire that sort of got left behind in HPG a little bit, got swarmed. Panic, you were in that Kodiak. You ate it pretty hard in Terra. Then you also got a little bit caught out in that rotation on HPG. Like, how do assaults feel? I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, how are assaults feeling these days? Is it still sort of like just like the worst mech that you try to put together? I mean,
I'm gonna completely ignore Terra Therma. Can we just I'm just gonna pretend like that.
Let's talk about the assaults.
No, the assaults, that never happened. No, the assault mechs. I don't know what Raging feels like, but it's kind of like, especially that drop 4. We saw the Direwolf and we were like, well, there was their answer to that. That's because it's a huge problem. Because you're only allowed to double up on one mech, and we were like, we could double up on Nightmares, and then we're like, but what do we do with the assault mechs? So right now the assaults have been put in an extremely I think precipitous spot, right? So something that's like on the edge of being, unfortunately not on the edge of being really good, on the edge of being just utter garbage. So when you want to have 4 of them, right now the Kodiak has been proven with the advent of really high alpha laser vomit heavies and mediums actually taking the field, you have an extreme vulnerability in those two torsos with the high mount Gauss. So even though it looks like it should be good on paper, it's actually just a nightmare to play. You spend the entire game clenching your ass as hard as possible because otherwise your Gauss is going to pop unless you're Proton playing in the NA finals, and then nothing happens and you just win. But yeah, no, like, so that's like then everything else you're looking at, like you're looking at, just doesn't pack enough armor to actually deal with. It doesn't pack enough armor to deal with the shots that are coming in, and if it packs enough armor to deal with the shots that are coming in, it either doesn't have the range or doesn't have the damage to be worth it to take it. Like the Highlander 732 Bravo that we tried out a couple weeks ago. I mean, yeah, sure, it could take a hit, but you're really not, like, you're what do you got? 3 ER large lasers and a Gauss rifle. Your medium mechs carry more armament than that. Like, what are you doing with your assault chassis? So, the legalization of the two Marauder 2Cs has answered that question to some extent, and the recent changes have actually buffed the Warhawk into some usability.
Saw a lot of play today, huh?
Yeah, it's been
well
pretty
now.
nice. But for their other assault mechs, you know, with the Supernovas only on the horizon and not usable in MRBC, I saw somebody running this Kodiak, and I think Queen ran it once.
You were in the Kodiak 1.
I'll toss credit to EMP for lack of a better place to toss it. I'm not sure who else I would have seen doing something this dumb.
And Ragin, you'd like that Warhawk too, right? You got some action to that tonight.
Yeah, I do enjoy that Warhawk, actually.
Even on Terra, how was the heat on that? Did you two cool shots and all that jazz?
I burnt one cool shot the entire game. I had two. It just spits LPLs. The thing is so heat efficient. It's very effective. I didn't mean to cut Panic off.
Oh, you're good.
I
I talk forever. I'll talk all night if you let me. So just go
ahead.
But
yeah, to go back to the question about assaults, it feels almost like you're really trying to isolate what's the least shit.
Yeah.
And everything in me screamed in that drop, because we obviously doubled the two Marauders and the Warhawk. Everything screamed to me to not take. Honestly, I wanted to take the Mauler. I should have taken the Mauler. My issue is that I think that honestly I lost us drop 5 because I poorly positioned my Direwolf and I took a fucking Direwolf. And at that point, like, honestly, I probably would have been happier in like an Atlas. I would have been more effective, I think, in an Atlas. But I mean, that's the issue. It's just like it's a drop with 4 mechs that are more of a liability than they are they're just a fucking liability. I'm sorry.
Less of an asset than like a heavy.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, like a heavy can at least marginally reposition, including like a Night Gear. It's the same speed as, like, you know, a 64 kph assault, but the difference is the Night Gear's profile isn't a barn door. Like, it has good armaments, it can pop tart, like, it's still more reliable and it's more effective than an assault. Like, that's the frustration. It's just trying to find 4 mechs, and God help you if you don't spend your double on them. Like, that's my thing. It's just like, props to 228 for doubling heavies and finding 4 assaults to make it work. Like, really well done. But like, that was our issue. It's just like, we had no idea what our 4th assault was. And honestly, I think I should have taken the Mauler, because I think it would have been better. For me personally, but that's just my thing. Then again, they seem to do nothing but nerf it into the fucking ground, so whatever.
Now tell us how you really feel. Just playing.
Oh, I know.
We had also considered taking the Mauler, and one last just said, if we're going to take a Mauler, I'd rather just take a Victor and run underneath and pray they send somebody down there for me. And we're like, okay, you know, what's the worst that can happen? Yeah, it's 80 ton.
Logan says thank you.
80-ton assault mech, like what else is there to put in? You know, it's kind of like you've exhausted everything. That's not just going to entirely shit the bed. The only thing we put in differently that you guys could have tried out would be that Kodiak 1, but that's a stretch, especially on that map with the arm mounts being so low. It just gets its head and shoulders taken off before it actually gets damage done.
Yeah, we noticed that too. We did a lot of extensive testing with the Kodiak 1. Actually, Zyos did, and he was just like, you know, it can tank, but it just melts.
Well,
so assaults continue to suck, and that's all I've got to ask. RJ, back to you.
Well, I wanted to.
Assaults continue to suck. That's a good takeaway. Everyone listening.
I mean, so not the new now that the new comp mode has come out today, people are starting to form the teams. I know both you guys still have a couple matches left to play here in MRBC, but with the current patch and the 2-2-2-2 format that PGI has in place, and also the fact that you can bring doubles of whatever you want, and you're not limited there. And, I was going to ask you a question, but now I'm remembering Civil War is coming out next month, which is going to just change everything over again. So I'm just going to bail on that question. Grim, go ahead. I'm confused.
OPSEC, RJ. I'll tell you what Assault Mech's going to take for the competitive queue. Come find out.
Well, unless they want any closing statements from these guys, I think I've kind of kept them long enough. Great matches, guys. Thanks for giving us this moment to come talk to us for sure.
Yeah, I really well. I enjoyed casting it. My viewers or the viewers at MRBC didn't enjoy it because I radio casted 2 of the drops. If you guys didn't hear already, but otherwise that was actually a really enjoyable match to watch. Both you guys played really well, so thank you for allowing me to cast it, or allowing Grim and I to cast it, and thanks for coming to join us here on TeamSpeak afterwards. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So everybody needs to get your friends together and get an 8-man together and just go play in the competitive queue. It doesn't matter whether you're going to be good or not, for the record. The only reason I started playing MechWarrior is because there used to be, in days of yore, an 8-man queue where you went in knowing you were going to get your ass kicked. But because of that, you were not sour when it happened like people are right now when you just randomly stumble across, 12 men of some good team in the queue. Go in there, get your pants on, stop being a woman, and smash some mechs. Because you're going to have fun and you're going to get better. The only way to get better is to get smashed. We really need this competitive community really needs more people. So I know that a lot of people that watch MRBC already play, but get everyone else out there. It's a whole hell of a lot of fun if you have a lot of people that are into it.
Definitely.
I agree.
We need more people. We definitely need more people. And don't let the cycle of patches discourage you. I mean, just adapt.
Also, don't let getting smashed discourage you. You can always get if you encourage everyone else to play, you're going to find people in the queue that are just as green or just as tier whatever as you are, and it's going to be great. You're going to have a great fun. Some nights going to be bad, some nights going to be good, but live for the good nights and learn from the bad nights, right?
You learn more from a loss than you do a win.
Yep, every time. GG's, everybody.
Yeah, thank you guys. Good games, and Panic, I'll see you back over in the 228 TS. I'm gonna.
Nope, we're kicking you out.
I am not surprised.
About time.
All right, you guys take it easy.
Yep. Thanks, man. Cheers.
User disconnected from your channel. User disconnected from your channel.
All right, that's almost gonna do it for us here. I am going to bring up. Let's see which screen. Let's see if I do this right without messing something else up tonight. We'll close
home stretch. Right.
So can I do it? Can I make it? I'm going to click on this here. So we got a couple more streams coming up. Let's see. SJR versus the 228 Blackwatch. So the Blackwatch will be back again. That's being casted by Switchblade. That's this coming Thursday. That's going to be on MRBC League 2 here on Twitch. I am going to be back. Grim and I are both going to be back here on MRBC 1 with the...
It's my time to shine.
Yeah. For the Division B final between the Blackstone Knights and Ice and Grim. And
Nice.
Yeah, I can't have any radio cast on that one, Grim.
We gotta be tight on that one.
Yeah, gotta be tight. Because this has been the most embarrassing
Clean
casting night for me yet.
Get it together.
This is why I'm fired, right? And then Switchblade is coming back to us again on the 25th of June with the NTEX Mercenaries versus the 23 Reggies. And of course, this information, as well as all match results, match cast, the league standings, the fixtures draws, everything is all available at mrbcleague.com. Panic was just talking about it. He was just saying, get your best group of 8 friends together, create a team, get into the comp play. And even after all that is done, MRBC has great entry-level divisions. That'll be starting probably in October or November. Season 10 will be starting after the main stuff for World is done. Either way, you've got if you're thinking about getting into comp play, but it just seems a little too intimidating, both MRBC and this new comp structure for the Worlds are great places to get started at. It's a lot of teams that are playing in MRBC this season started in Worlds last season. Some of them, like take Kong for example, are doing very, very well. So MRBCleague.com, get your guys involved, get your team involved, and learn what competitive play is all about. Grim, thank you very much for doing this with me. I really appreciate
Thank you, RJ.
it. Yeah, no problem. I will see you, sir, back over on the 228TS. And to everybody who watched, I apologize immensely for my radio cast
Until next time, boys.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll final Division B final next Thursday. We'll get it right. We're gonna bring you an excellent cast, the best cast, the excellent cast. So
I've seen some great casts.
yeah, we'll get it. So good night, everybody. We'll see y'all back here in MRBC League on Thursday. Peace.